a top 10 showdown between Brandon Courtney and Liam Cronin, a couple of All-Americans going at it.
Well, Brandon Courtney a couple of years ago was a runner-up to Spencer Lee, who we just referred to, and a three-time All-American, and he's really got it going every year. But Liam Cronin, look at that, ranked number 4. He's having a great senior year.
Liam Cronin last weekend was victorious, back-to-back W's over Ohio State's Malik Heinzelman and Rutgers' Dean Peterson, both by 3-1 decisions. And there's Mark Manning. What a career that he has had. 304 career victories here as a member of the head coach of the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, one of the great coaches in our sport, and he's got a great staff there with Brian Snyder and Trevel Delagnev, and going up against an old friend, Zeke Jones, who not only is back at his alma mater, but he was the USA national freestyle coach for the Olympics back in 2012 when Mark Manning joined him on the staff, and Jordan Burroughs, the Nebraska two-time NCAA champion, won his Olympic gold medal. And so these two are friends, they're former coaching mates, and now this is the first time they're meeting as head coaches of a college program.
And you know what? These are two elite programs. Arizona State in the Pac-12, Nebraska. They always seem to be in the top 10 in the country, and it just goes to show the depth that the Cornhuskers have.
Right, and they are. Those that are knocking on the door every year, they're right up there. Like I said, how about the Sun Devils? 2 trophy performances in the last 2 years at the NCAAs, and that's the kind of tradition the Cornhuskers have had, and they want to keep it going.
Some young Cornhusker fans taking in the action as we are awaiting Brandon Courtney and Liam Cronin. There you see Liam Cronin. He's all fired up. He is 17-3 this season. 2 pens, a tech fall, 5 major decisions. He's won 10 of 11. He's won 4 straight. And my goodness, he really is just on a tremendous run as of late. And honestly, his only defeat that he had in recent memory came to that of Iowa's Spencer Lee. But everyone loses to Spencer Lee.
You're exactly right about it. That is correct. Everyone loses to Spencer Lee, and of course he's undefeated this year. And there's a shot by Courtney, right in on the shot. He's good on his feet, and Cronin is very good defensively.
And as we see that we are just opening up the dual meet between Brandon Courtney and Liam Cronin. Here we are at the Devaney Center. What a wonderful venue for wrestling. And starting off strong here at 125 between 2 of the country's best.
I was talking to Mark Manning about his venue, and he said, you know, that's Tom Osborne, the legendary football coach. He was the athletic director at the time, and Coach Manning was telling me, I need a better facility. You know, we need that if we're going to get to the top. And he said, well, I'm looking to put in a couple of really good practice basketball courts. So we'll build that, and we'll expand this Devaney Center for volleyball and wrestling. And so it's all right here in one building. The practice facility, the offices, the arena, it's perfect. And so Mark Manning, because of his success, had the attention of Tom Osborne, and they got it done.
Well, and the fans certainly appreciate it. Nebraska, they have 6 wrestlers in the top 25. For Arizona State, 5 wrestlers in the top 25. 7 seniors to be honored today on Senior Day here in Lincoln. Still no score as we are at the midway point of this first period.
Courtney is homegrown. He has been in the wrestling room since he was 5 years old, and he's a product of, one of the traditionally best regional training centers, the Sun-Kissed Kids, founded by Art Mortori and now run by his daughter, Kim. And so he came up through the Kids Club, developed, got in a room, and here he is at ASU, a 3-time All-American.
Yeah, 3-time Arizona State champion in high school. He has won 4 in a row, including a major decision win over CSU Bakersfield Eddie Flores on Thursday. No relation to me, but as we see Brandon Courtney and Liam Cronin continue to battle, neither man looking to give up any, not even 1 inch.
Cronin does a nice job of defending the leg attack by Courtney. He's good hand, head defense there, looking to dig that left-handed underhook in there. That's where he wants to sit, and he's very comfortable. Cronin, the Husker, loves to dig in there, and he has a lot of attack from that underhook if he can sink it deep.
Brandon Courtney, 2 years ago, was a runner-up in the NCAA championship to Spencer Lee. Spencer Lee will be in his final due meet at Carver Hawkeye Arena next against Oklahoma State here on the Big Ten Network. Cronin going forward. Final moments of this first period. No score between number 4 ranked Liam Cronin and number 8 Brandon Courtney.
Neither wrestlers were able to find an opening. They did a good job of keeping good position.
Well, both men have win streaks that are on the line. 4 straight for Cronin. He's won 10 of 11. He's 0-2 lifetime against Arizona State. Looking to change that here this afternoon.
Nice effort by Cronin, out real fast. That's big in this matchup here. Quick escapes, puts him in the driver's seat.
He gets on the board early of this second period, 1-0 for Cronin. Cronin, the NCAA Wrestler of the Week, back on the week of January 17th, hoping to keep that momentum going in this final due meet of the regular season, 2 weeks away from the Big Ten Championships in Ann Arbor.
2 sixth-year seniors going at it, but it's senior day and for the Huskers, and that's why Cronin got a little extra zip in his step there. Nice job of getting to his feet, and then a little roll through, face out for the escape. Look how hard he's snapping that head.
Watch your hands, guys. Watch your
You know, they said watch it, don't grab the headgear, but that was really good by Cronin. Good heavy snaps on the head. That wears you out. Works on the lower back of Courtney, and Cronin just keeps looking to pull that head, move, looking for that opening.
Well, Liam Cronin prides himself on physicality. He holds wins over top 15. Minnesota's Pat McKee and Northwestern's Michael D'Agostino as well, along with Malik Heinzman last weekend. Now Cronin's back on the attack. Courtney came forward, but Cronin denied him, and now he's trying to push Courtney backwards.
Cronin keeping his back to the middle of the mat, doing a nice job of keeping Courtney from getting past the heads and the arms there. A little attempt earlier, and then a re-attack by Cronin. Good moving forward by Cronin. Mark Manning, 304 dual meet wins for the head coach, Mark Manning.
What an illustrious career for the head coach of the Cornhuskers. Tim, this is one of the most exciting 1-0 matchups that I've ever seen in my life.
2 top 10 wrestlers looking to see if they can move, find that opening, look for the angle.
That'll end the second period. Coming up on the third period, Liam Cronin holding on to a 1-0 lead.
Nope, bottom man. Wait on me, don't time me.
As we get ready to begin this third period. Brandon Courtney looking to rise to his feet to even this up. Riding time as of this point, not a factor.
Nice little sit out by Courtney there, but good follow through by Cronin and go to the fair. It's going to be decided on the feet.
We are even at 1 apiece in the early part of this third period. Cronin charging forward and looking to push the pace against Courtney.
Digging in with that lefty underhook there, snapping the head, Cronin is. Courtney trying to find an opening that he can get his leg attacks, and he has not been successful against Cronin so far. Cronin like to have a little re-attack, find the angle, catch an ankle.
Cronin looking to reset. Coming up on 70 seconds to go in this third period. Still even at 1 apiece.
Looking for that snapping of the head to run around, something that he can get Courtney moving to the side. There's a nice high crotch by Courtney. In on the single.
And Cronin denies it.
Yeah, really, really good. Getting the anchor down, getting his hips down, now dropping back in himself. Good action there. That was a great job by Cronin, anchoring his hips and the legs so that Cronin couldn't finish it cleanly.
And the fans at the Devaney Center, they erupted. Courtney on the shot denied again by Cronin. That was tremendous durability and composure by Cronin to deny the takedown from Courtney.
About as good a shot as you can get. Courtney was in on that high crotch, had him off the mat. Cronin was able to straighten up. Now pushing off there, looking for a stall call, wanting to get the attention of the official.
Final moments of this third period. We're deadlocked at 1 apiece.
Cronin, can he get it done in the last 2 seconds? Whoa!
No! They say no. The officials say no. And the fans are booing. They thought he had it, but we're going to sudden victory here.
There's a replay with the clock, and no, that's a good call by the officials there. It was not 2. They're going to overtime. That was a nice shot by Cronin. He has really been working ahead, and then to get in on that shot, he just wants to get it now with a little more time left on the clock.
What a start to this duel between Nebraska and Arizona State. Courtney with the body lock.
Nice job by Courtney to break that. Used his head well, got his hips back. Good action by these two.
Cronin looking to get the legs, but Courtney maintains his vertical base.
Oh, inside trip opportunity by Courtney. He didn't quite get it. Nice job by both these guys staying in the guard. There's a high cross by Courtney.
Can Cronin keep his composure here?
Driving through. If Courtney can come out. Whoa, nice job of getting the hips, hooking the ankle, getting the 2. The Husker wins on senior day. Now, can he get the fall?
Liam Cronin looking for the fall, but he's got the victory. Liam Cronin here before the fans at the Devaney Center. The Cornhusker on senior day with the W over top 10 ranked Brandon Courtney.
That was some guts there. That was a great job as Cronin kept digging in, underhooks, and then Courtney gets in on a high cross, a single there, drives through, the roll through by Cronin, keeps Courtney from getting the 2 points. But what Cronin did here is he wrestled through the position. Great job of wrestling through the position.
He's won 5 in a row, and Brock Hardy top 4 in the country. He's almost as good as it gets.
He's on a roll. He's a very dangerous guy, Brock Hardy. He has his own style, and, you know, he has a real belief in himself. But, you know, what he's got to accomplish here in the next few weeks is to be able to go all 7 minutes. He's got a great 5 minutes, and sometimes there's a little lag there, and so he's got to get it so that he can go all 7 and more. Interesting story, Ysaguirre is one of the freshmen that have so many dates, and he had an extra date here, not giving up a red shirt, so he's a true freshman that is, you know, in place of Vasquez, who's injured, and they hope to have him back for the Pac-12s.
Well, obviously love that rule that the NCAA has instituted. Ysaguirre, 5-5 this season, 2 major decisions, coming off a major decision win over CSU Bakerfield's Louis Ramos on Thursday. For Brock Hardy, what a weekend last weekend, coming off a tech fall over Rutgers, Devon Britton, and also a sudden victory over Ohio State's top 15, Dylan Emilio.
Yeah, I like what he said. You know, we were talking about, you know, where he stands and the rankings and how high he is. And he goes, you know, I believe I am good enough to be on the top and be right up there, but we'll find out at the NCAAs. And so he knows where it counts to step out on the mountain and perform. There he is on a low single. Looking to cut across.
Can Hardy get on the board in this first period?
And Ysaguirre has a cradle. He has a cradle locked up. Nope, and Brock gets out of it. Cradle locked up again. The young freshman has Brock Hardy in trouble. Hardy doing a nice job of rolling through. Is he going to get 2 counts?
A cradle for Ysaguirre over Brock Hardy. Hardy looking to get out of this precarious position.
And already a 4 count. 4 count. That's a 6-point move for the freshman Ysaguirre against the number 4 ranked 141-pounder Brock Hardy.
And he pushes off Hardy as to say, hey, guess what? I didn't come here to lie down and make this a triumphant victory for you.
As he slips around, he slides that cradle on. Then he loses it and readjusts it. A nice adjustment job by Ysaguirre. Nice single leg. Can he finish quickly? And he does. Catches that far ankle. 2 points for Hardy.
So Hardy gets on the board now. 6-3. Immediately Hardy cut into that lead, literally by half. Ysaguirre came out and surprised Brock Hardy, but Hardy's looking to seize the momentum back in his favor and cut into what was a 6-point lead for Ysaguirre.
So much wrestling left, and this is where you find out the resolve of Brock Hardy. Does he have the mental and the skills to come back from being far behind, to execute in the face of adversity?
Hardy looking for the takedown. He's got that left ankle, looking to follow through on that left leg. A 7-3 advantage for the Sun Devil towards the end of this first period. The fans want points for Hardy.
Hardy's looking to come around and get that shoulder. They get a stalemate. The fans don't like that. Nice job by Ysaguirre.
That was an eventful first period, Tim. Coach's challenge out from Mark Manning and the Cornhuskers.
Looking for that 2 points. Had both legs, was on the hips there, and Ysaguirre was just hanging on. The official saw it as a stalemate. Manning wants them to take a look at it because he believes that he had a takedown. There's Frank Molinari, who was a national champion for Penn State, now an assistant for Arizona State. So here's Hardy in on that single, cuts across with his right arm there, now drives through. And as he puts Ysaguirre, hooks the leg, is cut across there. And right here where he's got both legs. Yeah, and Ysaguirre still got that leg hooked in there. As soon as he unhooked it, that's where I think that Manning's saying that should be two points.
Review calling that a stand, no takedown.
Wow, no takedown. And who's cascading here at the Devaney Center?
Yeah, and stand, of course, means that there was not, proof through the video that it was different. I mean, and so from the angle they saw, it was not 2 points.
Well, the freshman Emilio Ysaguirre surprising Brock Hardy, but Hardy looking to cut into this 4-point lead that the Sun Devil possesses at the beginning of the second period. Brock Hardy has won 5 in a row since losing to Iowa's Rio Wood 6-4 on January 20th. A 4-time state champion in Utah. He rises to his feet to cut into this Ysaguirre lead.
That was a big, that was big for Ysaguirre to not to give up that takedown at the end of the first period, and then didn't have the frame of mind to just give an escape. You don't want to give up a reversal. And right now, I think Hardy needs to get the attention of that official, put the pressure on, because Ysaguirre isn't going to be too active here with a 7-4 lead. He can't shut it down because there's too much time left, but that doesn't mean Hardy can't be, moving and making the official look at Ysaguirre's inactivity.
Well, to your point, Tim, during the fact that they were looking at that possible takedown at the end of the first period, Ysaguirre looked at the officials not once but twice as to try to milk the clock and hold off that takedown. Now he goes in to try to get a takedown over Brock Hardy here.
What Ysaguirre does a nice job on that is he doesn't lose the shoulder there, but now Brock Hardy trying to slip around, hooks the leg. Might be able to hook his own cradle up.
You're hearing the coaching staff of Nebraska telling Brock Hardy, watch the cradle.
Well, he wants the cradle. They want the cradle there, but this is a clock eater for Ysaguirre, not allowing for the takedown. and keeping that leg and not giving the two. That's real close, but he's got it up around his chest. And if Hardy was able to kick out of this, he'd have 2 points.
That is the end of the second period. Still a 7-4 lead for Ysaguirre as we begin the third period. The freshman looking to upset the number 4 ranked 141-pounder in the country, the Cornhusker, Brock Hardy.
A really good test for Hardy here, going into the Big Tens, having to face adversity like this.
Don't forget the Big Ten Championships in 2 weeks' time in Ann Arbor on the campus of the University of Michigan. Brock Hardy's got some work to do here to cut into this 3-point lead for Emilio Ysaguirre.
Ysaguirre looking, he's got the whizzer in here, looking to get a reversal right here, and it looks like he's going to get it done. That's 2. That's a reversal, big time, stepping up for Ysaguirre, the freshman.
So Ysaguirre increases his lead to 9-4. So Brock Hardy has 74 seconds to make some magic happen, but he is being pushed by the freshman out of Eloy, Arizona, in Emilio Ysaguirre.
Yeah, out of Valiant College Prep. They don't even wrestle the state high school schedule. They wrestle at Fargo, Ironman, Super 32. Eric Larkin, Michael, and David Douglas. They started a school just so they could bring and develop wrestlers like Ysaguirre, who are going to make a splash in these next several years at Division I.
40 seconds to go. Brock Hardy still down by 5 points. And Hardy 24-3 coming into this final dual meet of the regular season. And my goodness, is he facing one tough hombre in Emilio Ysaguirre.
Right here, you got to say, what do I have from the bottom? That is a reversal to the back. You need a 6-point move. You've got to have that in your mind right now, that it's possible.
An upset brewing here in Lincoln. The freshman Emilio Ysaguirre going to hand Brock Hardy his 4th defeat of the season and improved to 6-5 for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
How about that for a freshman that might not even be at the Pac-12s? He really put the hammer down early, did a really nice job of controlling the match. Very savvy for this young freshman, Emilio Ysaguirre, for the Sun Devils.
What a moment, his first career-ranked victory as he tops Brock Hardy, ranked number 4 in the country. Gone Max Wilner and Peyton Robb. Boy, has he gotten better, 22-0 this season.
Yes, he has. He's had a great year, and he has to know the situation right now. He's got to go out. He's a leader on the team. He has to take control of this match and get a big win here, to not only for himself, but for the team here, for the rest of the guys.
Peyton Robb last weekend, a 5-4 decision win over Ohio State's Patty Gallagher in Columbus. Followed that up with a major decision over Rutgers' Andrew Clark on last Sunday. Placed 4th at the Big Ten at the NCAA Championships last season, 5th place at the Big Ten Championships. The All-American looking to make a statement, and he gets on the board early in the first 30 seconds.
Really nice job. Snap down, run around. Really quick takedown for Peyton Robb. That's what he needed to do. He needs to make a statement here for himself, for the team, to go into halftime, the intermission.
Peyton Robb, 2 pins, 5 tech falls, 4 major decisions. Won the Cliff Keen Invitational in December. Top 10 wins over Purdue's Kendall Coleman, North Dakota State's Jared Freneck, and NC State's Ed Scott. He's being extremely aggressive in the early part of this first period.
Yeah, very good. Got the boots in there, looking for some back points.
I think it's clear that Peyton Robb is not just focused on getting his hand raised, but he's looking for bonus points. You could see with his mentality to begin this matchup against Max Wilner.
Well, all of this comes out of a consistency in practice. He brings it every day. Nice shot by Wilner in. He's in tight. Now it's a matter of Robb getting the hips out. Now cutting that corner.
Nebraska has lost the last 3 in this dual meet. Robb looking to stop that here at 157. And 2 more points for Peyton Robb, who is 2-0 all time against Arizona State. Beat Ysaguirre Teamer by a 6-4 decision at the NCAA Championships last year.
Of course, Ysaguirre Teamer, what a team these guys would have as Robb goes for back points. Looks like he's going to get 4 here, but Ysaguirre Teamer, the All-American, had a season-ending injury in the first practice of the year this year. So he'll have 2 more years of eligibility. They'll look forward to having Teamer back, but it hurt him this year. You put Teamer in there, and Norfleet, if he gets back in there, they would have had a team that was really vying for the 2nd, 3rd in the NCAAs. But Teamer will be back, but he's missed. And Peyton Robb going after what I said he needed to do. Need to get after it. He's up to 4 points.
So now it is 10-1 over Max Wilner. Well, Peyton Robb looking for a possible tech fall here over Max Wilner.
And he's got his 4 again.
What a first period from the All-American Peyton Robb. That's a way to come out strong.
Well, and what he did is he's got the crowd back in it. He gets them excited going into intermission. It fires up the rest of the team as well. This is what leaders do. He's one of the leaders on the team. He's the #1 ranked 57-pounder in the land. He needs to come out and perform like it, and he is.
And 2 points for Peyton Robb. That is a tech fall. He remains undefeated, 23-0 for the Cornhusker as he defeats Max Wilner. 5 points for the Cornhuskers. So Peyton Robb victorious via tech fall. 5 big points for Nebraska. 7 major decisions taken on the freshman, Cael Valencia, who happens to be a part of a tremendous wrestling family, the Valencia family.
Yeah, Ysaguirre, the 2-time NCAA champion, and Anthony Valencia. They've both been a big part of Arizona State from St. John Don Bosco High School. They're a tremendous feeder of Division I wrestlers, a tough wrestling program. Cael Valencia comes into the program. He knows what tough is. You don't grow up there where he grew up and not know what it means to be street tough. And now the freshman going up against the wily veteran, Mikey Labriola.
Mikey Labriola, 7th at the NCAA Championships last year, 5th place at the Big Ten Championships. Coming off of a decision win over Ethan Smith, 6-4 last Friday night. Smith ranked top 6 in the country, looking for a takedown is Labriola. Also a win over Jackson Turley by a 6-2 decision.
Labriola knows what he's doing. He's looking for that danger zone, coming around, slipping around, and driving through the takedown. At the edge of the mat, Labriola does a nice job, edge of the mat into periods.
Mikey Labriola gets on the board 2-0 in just over the first minute of this first period. He was named the NCAA Wrestler of the Week a couple of weeks ago.
Here's where he's looking for perhaps danger zone, but turns, pivots the hips, gets the 2-point.
Green set. Red, you're on.
Labriola 1-0 all-time against Arizona State, beat Trey Munoz by a 5-3 decision at the 2021 NCAA Championships. Valencia, though, gets on the board.
Labriola also from a really tough wrestling country, Easton, Pennsylvania, Bethlehem Catholic, and he came in prepared early on to make a difference for the Huskers.
He was a state champion in high school as Mikey Labriola. Went 44-0 at 170 in 2017.
You can see that look in the eye for Labriola. He's looking to make a statement here. He's looking to get major points on the board.
2 more points for Mikey Labriola to increase his lead to 3.
Labriola really good on top. He can ride and turn.
Well, now the Cornhuskers have the momentum. They have won 2 straight, and it started off with Peyton Robb, followed by Bubba Wilson. Mikey Labriola looking to do the same.
Yeah, Labriola has the opportunity and the skill set to go from feet to the back here, and so he's going to keep the pressure on. There's a warning stalling for backing off.
Arizona State on top, 12-11. Looking for a takedown is Valencia.
Really nice job by Valencia. He comes in with a long reach. Probably scores a lot, but this is Mikey Labriola, who really understands his body, really understands his position. He's good here. Has to understand where he's at. Comes up, the head keeps coming up. Slipping that leg.
I don't like that.
Labriola ranked 2nd in the country behind Starachi of Penn State.
Nice job here by Cael, Valencia, but Labriola does a nice job of lengthening Cael out, not letting him get in deeper on the legs. So good first period for Labriola, who's, you know, he's got a couple of national champions in front of him. That's why it's hard to get past that 3rd. But he beat one of them, Mikey Lewis, this year already. But he's 0-2 against Starachi from Penn State. So that's the hill he's got to climb. And, you know, one time you're looking ahead. You got the Big Tens, and you want the one time, if there is one time, to be at the NCAAs. And I guarantee you that Mikey Labriola is looking ahead, not in a bad way, to the opportunity.
Well, they say potentially 3rd time's the charm. Labriola is of that mindset. 5-2, the lead for Labriola over Cael Valencia, the redshirt freshman out of Arizona State. 10-8 this season, coming off a win over Bakersfield. Ysaguirre 6-5 decision on Thursday.
There's that. I'll tell you what, Cael Valencia's got some mental toughness. We'll talk about that street toughness. He's tough. He's got a little dog in him himself.
Well, he did pick up the Pac-12 Wrestler of the Week on January 24th. Picked up his 5th win of the season. Here's Valencia's work.
Did a nice job of getting separation. Valencia did between his chest and the hips in a way, allowed him to adjust and drive back in, cut through and get the double for the 2 points.
So 5-4, the issue still in doubt for Mikey Labriola. And he gets on the board, 6-4 now. A 2-point edge for the Cornhusker.
Jones said that Valencia is a completely different wrestler in the 2nd semester. Maybe the pressure of being the brother of Zahid and Anthony and the lineup as a redshirt freshman, but he has been a different wrestler in the 2nd semester, and I can see why. He is not afraid. He's coming at you, and it looks like these guys both have the shape to execute when you're tired.
And you mentioned about the Big Ten championships coming up in 2 weeks. I think this is a good match for Labriola as we get ready. This is a tough matchup. This is not easy for him. It's not a walkover against Cael Valencia.
Valencia does a nice job of cutting across with his right arm. Now with 14 seconds, Labriola needs to know where he's at. Eat that clock. Stay right there. Take the win on senior day. There you go, going into that 3rd period there, 6-4. That was really important for Labriola to know where he was at the end of the 2nd period.
Mikey Labriola looking to preserve his undefeated record in the regular season. He's 23-0, taking on the 10-8 Cael Valencia of Arizona State. So Valencia gets on the board in this 3rd period, 6-5. Riding time a non-factor at this point.
Labriola needs to not only keep good position, he needs to be the guy that's pulling the trigger on his best stuff right here. There's a stall warning on Valencia. Put the pressure on him. Hand fight. Let the fans get you a point here. Keep moving in. Get underhooks. Nice job. Really good movement by Labriola there. Now if he can break the grip, coming around and get a two-pointer. There. Here he comes. Cross face. Hooks. Drives it through. Nice misdirection right here. Changing direction, covering the hips, and driving Valencia to the mat.
Labriola was absolutely persistent in that sequence. 8-5, and now he's building up on the riding time with a minute to go in the third period. The senior out of Easton, Pennsylvania, looking to end his regular season career with a victory here with Nebraska.
This is where Labriola takes his background, puts the hard hat on, and goes to work.
You're on.
Labriola would not be denied, especially on an emotional day like senior day here in Lincoln.
Good scramble. Nice effort by Valencia. Good follow by Labriola. You don't want to get caught on your back and get, nice job of getting out of bounds there.
Riding time at 1:10 for Labriola, 8-5, his lead.
Red, hold up. Hold up, get on easy. Green, get set.
Cael Valencia looking to shock Mikey Labriola. Labriola aiming to remain undefeated this season.
Caution red. Caution red.
30 seconds left, 8-5. If Labriola holds on, that would put Nebraska on top of Arizona State. So Valencia, 8-6, the lead for Labriola.
Nice job there from a standpoint of shooting off the mat, not letting Valencia back in. Good clock management, good match management by Mikey Labriola.
Riding time secured for the senior Cornhusker. 8-6, the lead for Labriola.
Gave up the first warning, had it to give.
And Mikey Labriola remains undefeated on senior day. And the fans here in Lincoln, Nebraska, showering him with their affection as he concludes his Nebraska regular season career undefeated 24-0 with a decision win over Arizona State's Cael Valencia. Now 197, Josh Hummer and Silas Allred. Silas Allred 22-5 this season, ranked number 10 in the country. He was named the Big Ten Wrestler of the Week, taking on Josh Hummer, the redshirt sophomore out of Kodiak, Alaska, who is 4-8 this season, coming off of a 4-2 win over Little Rock's Matthew Wilner back on February 3rd.
Lenny Pinto. I wouldn't, if I wasn't wrestling my best, I would not want to draw Lenny Pinto in the Big Tens or in the NCAAs. He's explosive, and you never know what's going to happen. And boy, he brought the fans to their feet, puts Nebraska in really good position right now.
Center.
Again, they need to win. Nebraska needs to win to put it away. If Arizona State wins, they're within 5. A Schultz pin would be a 21-20 win for Arizona State. So Silas Allred needs to execute as the favorite, just like his teammate Pinto did.
Silas Allred 22-5 this season, had a major decision win over Ohio State's Luke Giog last Friday night. 10-2, was named the Big Ten Wrestler of the Week earlier in the season, following up that of Liam Cronin, a 2-time state champion in Indiana from Anderson, Indiana, as he looks for a takedown over Josh Hummer.
Nice job of finding the far ankle there for the 2 points on the edge by Allred.
So 2 points for Silas Allred to get on the board in this first minute 9 seconds against Josh Hummer of Arizona State.
Green set, red, you're on.
Silas Allred has won 5 in a row. So Josh Newmer, 2-0 the lead for Allred. Go out of bounds, he'll go back to the center. Tim, as you mentioned, this is a very important match for both teams here at 197.
Green set, red, you're on.
Nebraska can lock it with a win here.
Yeah.
Arizona State can come within 5 with Colton Schultz, 2-time All-American, heavyweight extraordinaire for
Arizona State. You know, you got to be thinking that at the heavyweights, we're talking about postseason as Silas Allred continues to build up that riding time, but the heavyweights like Tony Cassiope, Craig Kirkfleet, Mason Paris, Colton Schultz, since the departure of Gable Stevenson, the Olympic gold medalist, they've got to be thinking, I got a chance to possibly win a national championship.
Well, you really bring up a great point, Ray, from a standpoint of when these guys came out of high school. Gable Stevenson, Kirkfleet, who's now at Penn State, of course, Cassiope at Iowa, Schultz. I would say that Schultz was probably at the bottom of that list, and Arizona State saw something in him from a character standpoint, from a toughness standpoint, from the way he lived his life. And they went early and said, let's give Schultz. And it's working out so far for him. Like you said, Gable Stevenson not in the mix anymore.
No.
And so it's a really interesting heavyweight situation out there this year.
Action, gentlemen.
Looking forward to the Big Ten
I got blood.
tournament coming up as we'll see the Big Ten heavyweights go at it. 4-1, the lead for Silas Allred on top, ranked number 10 in the country. 35 seconds to go. Also, what's impressive, he built up the riding time to a minute 14 already, and we're still in the first period.
Yeah, that's really good work, though. Really good, hard wrestling by Silas Allred. He knows what he needs to do. Can't take any real risks, but he can be a hammer, and that's what he wants to be.
With Silas Allred, as you saw that on the mat feature, has dealt with adversity in his life.
No blood on you, right?
You can, for more Big Ten wrestling content, follow at B1G Wrestling.
Get set.
As Silas Allred on top, 4-1.
Yeah, that's a great story of how his dad, Eric, and here Silas in on the single leg, but his dad turns his life around, becomes a model to him, and then he had to watch his dad die of ALS, but really rekindled, reconciled, and has a great memory and a great model from his dad. So kudos to what his dad Eric did in his life and the influence and the legacy he left to impact his son.
And also, not to bring out your tissues, but now as we see Silas Allred on top or on the back, he is trying to build up some points, but no. 6-2 the lead for Silas Allred.
And, you know, we talk about the on-the-mat segments.
Yes.
You should watch them because of the story. And the production, you know, the Big Ten Network production, it's just top-notch, every one of them. And it's just one, you know, watch it for the story and watch it for the excellence in production.
Well, you know what, Tim, just to talk about the Silas Allred piece, to conclude it, is that his father told Mark Manning before he passed away 2 more points, he said, you have to be a second father to my son. I mean, talk about a moment there for the father of Silas Allred, who was getting ready to pass away, telling Mark Manning, you got to be a second father to my son. But he's on top now, 8-2, as we have 90 seconds remaining. Riding time at a minute 50 for the redshirt sophomore in Silas Allred.
I got blood on the mat, too.
They got a little blood on the mat there to give kudos to Bill Friedman, the BTN Originals. He's the one that oversees the production of those on-the-mat segments and all those special stories.
We got to love the production, and there is Silas Allred. Coming up next, Carver Hawkeye Arena. It is going to be rocky. Number 10, Oklahoma State. Number 2, Iowa. And how about this? The final regular season dual meet for Spencer Lee. What a special moment that is going to be.
You think this crowd got excited about their seniors? You wait until, you know, in the middle of that match, right there, where they're starting at 165.
Yes.
Or so, and so that place is going to erupt when Spencer Lee comes out. So it's worth tuning in. It's worth staying on, especially if you've never seen Spencer Lee wrestle. You know, you got to tune in for that, and I think a lot of Iowans understand that, and so there'll be a lot of people tuning in.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that, Tim. 2 more points for Silas Allred. Man, he is really opening up here, and this is significant for Nebraska because, as you pointed out, Colton Schultz for Arizona State on top. 2 more points for Silas Allred here. 12-4, his lead. Silas Allred ranked number 10 in the country, following that of another standout Cornhusker who graduated last year, Eric Schultz, who campaigned at 197. Riding time at 2 minutes 4 seconds for the Cornhusker.
Yeah, Allred is so threatening with that cradle that Neumer gave up the takedown just so he wouldn't have to deal with a cradle by Allred.
And Josh Neumer certainly has his work cut out for him. He was a redshirt sophomore out of Kodiak, Alaska. A little bit of a delay here. He claimed an Alaska State Championship, was a 2019 All-American in high school. A little bit of a pause in the action due to some blood, but we will get that cleaned up. 14-5, the crowd making noise here in Lincoln on this senior day for Nebraska, their final regular season dual meet of the year.
You know, Neumer's one of these guys. He's wrestled 174, 184, 197. Coach says, hey, do you want to wrestle? Neumer says, what weight? You know, and you talked about him being from Alaska. He works on the fishing boats in the summer to pay for his college education. These are the kind of guys, you know, they're not going to be on the podium necessarily, but they help the guys get on the podium.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's about being active in that wrestling room. 14-5, Silas Allred on top. And if you're Silas Allred, you got to be thinking it's not about major decision. It's about a tech fall, possibly a pin at this point. But if you're Josh Neumer, again, one of my favorite quotes out of you, TJ, the match within the match. Can you find a way to hold him to either a major decision or even get some points on the board and make it just a decision?
There's always an opportunity to win a championship, quote unquote. Your championship here is to finish strong, to not give up more than you need to right here. You got to be tough all the way through. You know, of course, Arizona State's hoping that Norfleet, their normal 197-pounder, can come back. They don't know for sure. They're hoping that he can be back for the Pac-12. You put Vasquez at 141, even though, wow, today, you know, the big upset at 141 went Arizona State way.
Yeah, talking about Emilio Ysaguirre.
Yeah, and so that's a decision to make there. Do you pull the red shirt this late in the year, you know, and you have that kind of effort? And obviously it depends on Vasquez and whether he can come back. And then, of course, Norfleet at 197 would just strengthen Arizona State's opportunity to get in there for a trophy. And, of course, you know, at this time of the year, everybody's banged up. And you just got to realize it is what it is. And so the guys that get on the podium, the teams that win the trophies, they're the ones that win irregardless of how banged up they are.
Well, you know, you're talking about pulling red shirts. I mean, probably the most significant red shirt that was pulled was that of Penn State's Levi Haynes this year for the Nittany Lions. We'll see him in a couple of weeks at the Big Ten Championships in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, Levi Haynes, he's really tough, and he just made a formidable Penn State team even more so. Obviously, the heavy favorites to win the NCAA title again this year as a team.
16-7, riding time secured 2 more points coming for Silas Allred. He's on top by 11. Riding time secured, under a minute to go in this third period. 2 more points. Look at this. He is piling up points. 20-8. Your score looks like a football score, even though we're a week removed from the Super Bowl.
One green, we're neutral.
And a lot of time left here. He gives the 1 point. Automatic escape, 20-9. He'd like to get feet to the back.
Allred stinking tech fall. That is one thing that has evaded him. He has 7 pins and 5 major decisions. 2 more points coming for Silas Allred, 22-9. A 13-point advantage. Riding time secured. 25 seconds to go.
And a takedown here with riding time would give the tech fall. Puts a real exclamation mark on these last 2. 184, 197. Boy, did they come through for the Huskers. 11 points.
Look at that. Silas Allred building up. That riding time secured. And out of bounds they go. 5 seconds remaining. If it holds as is, it'll be a tech fall for Silas Allred.
Wait for my whistle. Get set, Green. Set, Red, you're on. Set. 1, 2, 3.
And the tech fall for Silas Allred as he defeats Josh Newmer. Look at the ovation for the fans here in Lincoln. Silas Allred improves to 23-5 this season. What a performance over Josh Newmer.